unboxing the Marvel Legends cable from the 2024 Zabu Build-A-Figure wave. He comes with a big gun, just like the comic books? No? How about the comic book art the figure is based on? How about his guns from the Disney Plus show X-Men 97? How about his gun in the Marvel vs. Capcom video game? What are these guns based on? Before we answer that question, let's take a closer look at the head sculpt of this brand new cable from the Zabu Build-A-Figure wave. In terms of the hair, it's different because the figure has some kind of fringe, a little bit longer compared to his hair in the comic books where he does not have a fringe. There seems to be a light wash on his hair, making it look dirty white. There is a translucent yellow spark coming from his cybernetic eye on the left. This is the same in the comic books wherein his cybernetic eyes is on the left. Same is true for the Marvel vs. Capcom. Hasbro continues to use photoreal tech in printing details or painting his face. Maybe unintentional, but he does remind me of Josh Brolin as Cable. The back of his neck has a paint chip exposing the upper torso as cyan plastic in color. Unlike the comic books, the yellow strap running across his chest does not have any pouches. This further solidifies that the costume design of Cable here is from the Marvel vs. Capcom game. His right arm has blue sleeves, double jointed elbows with pins. Unlike the comic books wherein he does not have sleeves, his left cybernetic arms looks like a brand new sculpt without pins, excellent shiny silver plastic, compared to his right arm wherein there are pins. Probably that is an old mold. Similar to the Jim Lee Cyclops, Hasbro designed these straps not to hinder articulation. There is a piece of the strap attached to his belt. His belt is a separate piece with a black X on red background. He has several pouches like his dad. In the comic books and Capcom game, it seems that he can attach a gun behind his belt. The yellow strap with pouches is a separate piece. It is not glued on, so if you push a little bit harder, it can come off, but it is tightly on his upper thigh. Thankfully, his knee pads are not a separate piece. It is glued onto his knees, so it will stay in place. From his knees to his lower calf, Hasbro painted yellow over cyan plastic, while his boot is all yellow plastic. This shows the inconsistency in terms of the yellow color. At the bottom of his feet, there are peg holes and the product number. In the comments below, let me know if you're happy with Hasbro's chosen design for Cable. In my existing Marvel Legends collection, I cannot find another figure with the exact same torso as Cable's. So if I remove these straps, you need to crunch him forward so that you would be able to slide out the bottom piece of the strap. When you remove that, you can see that this is indeed a brand new torso because there is a mold wherein those straps are specifically designed to rest on, in order for the straps to stay in place and not be loose. Without the straps on his chest, the yellow pieces of his strap attached to his belt is now exposed. In the comments below, let me know if you agree that this is indeed a brand new torso, or do you have a figure in your collection that has this particular torso. When first revealed, someone told me probably his body is the Colossus body, but as you can see side by side, it is totally different. Also, Sabretooth's body is different from this particular Cable. Other close to his size is Maggot and Random, but looking closely at the upper and lower torso of Random, it is not the same as with Cable. Ignoring the mold for his straps, the muscle groups are molded differently compared to Random. Comparing him with Maggot, which I believe has the exact same torso as Random, painted white, you can see that the mold of his muscle is different from that of Cable. But in terms of height and probably size proportion, they are the same but molded differently. Side by side with Random's right arm, it does feel the same, especially with having pins. The scope of the muscle looks the same. Personally, I don't mind Hasbro adding pins to his right arm since they're the same color of cyan with the rest of the arm. But it is really odd since they have other arms which are pinless already, just like maggots. The action figure that comes to mind when I saw this figure is Crossbones, because they seem to have the same proportion of body. But again, Crossbone is in an older body mold and it is not the same as Cable. He comes with a right hand closed fist in cyan plastic color, and his left hand is some expressive open palm hand. This brings a total of 2 hands for Cable. It is not a pair. Both hands can hinge forward and back. At first, there is some resistance from his wristbands right here. Maybe push it down a little bit lower so you can articulate further his wrist. Cable can now fully articulate his wrist to hinge up and down. Be careful when you switch over his alternate hands. Because this wristband is a separate piece and very small, you might lose it. The alternate hands that he comes with is a pair of weapon holding hands, specifically for a gun. So it is trigger finger hands for both, and it can hinge up and down. These are essential hands because in the comic books, Cable usually uses guns rather than his mutant power. In the comic books, Cable said he is a low-level TK or telekinetic. Battles are won with superior power. He comes with 2 different types of silver gun. The handles are sculpted on and painted black. It's not that large as you can see, but the firepower right here looks very familiar to me because I've seen these guns with other Marvel Legends figures. The guns are not brand new or specific to the Capcom video game. Here is a psychic shotgun in pinkish translucent plastic and an all-black plastic gun without any painted details. Here he is side by side with Crossbone holding his silver gun. They are the exact same mold. It is not brand new as you would assume it would be, or it is not based on the video game. The psychic gun here is from Kid Omega. Notice that Kid Omega cannot hold on or put his trigger hand on the psychic gun. Let me know in the comments below, were you tricked by Hasbro to believe that these are brand new guns for Cable? Does it bother you that Hasbro did not even try to make a brand new gun specific to the Marvel vs. Capcom video game version of the character? Thank you for checking out this review. I'm Tigerknight! Here is a side-by-side comparison with the Cable from the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure, and we have X-Man from the Age of Apocalypse. In terms of the build of their body, you can see that X-Man is too small, so we cannot perform a Kitbash with him. But we can perform a Kitbash with the Rob Liefeld Cable. The new Cable head on the Rob Liefeld body works okay. The flesh tone won't match as expected, especially with this figure having photoreal tech print on his face. But it doesn't really matter, or it's not that noticeable. So you can see here, the flesh tones does not match. This is a darker flesh tone compared to that one. On the other hand, this head seems to be rather large for this body. The flesh tones won't match as always. That is okay because the Rob Liefeld Cable head flesh tone does not match with the neck because the neck is blue plastic painted with flesh, so it will never match. Another useful thing about this brand new head sculpt is for Stryfe. because when you use this head for the stripe body, it has this some kind of thing attached to his ear that it won't look right when you attach it to the stripe body. I'm not sure if you can remove that thing on his ear, but I won't try. So with the brand new cable head sculpt, you can now have a stripe without his helmet. So you can hold his helmet like this, just make sure to hide the exposed flesh of his nose and mouth. So with this setup, you can now have a face to face with the cable right here. Though the head sculpt is not exactly the same to make it obvious that they are actually clones, I am glad that I am given the option to display side by side cable and a stripe without his helmet. The stripe does look like Josh Brolin though, but it would still work. Let me know in the comments below, are you going to try to do this as well? In terms of the gun, I missed out something important. This supposed to be the gun from the Marvel vs. Capcom cable is actually the same gun that came with the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure cable. I just failed to notice it because it was hidden on the side of his belt. This one is not painted with any details. It's all black, similar to what Crossbone has. For the answer to the question at the beginning of this video, the very obvious solution is to use the gun that came with the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure cable. The problem is he doesn't come with any butterfly joints, so he is not able to hold it the way he holds it in the Capcom game. It will snap back. So unless you position it to the side, you really can't copy his pose from the Capcom video game. Similar to that scene in the episode of X-Men 97, don't mess with the Summers. Here we have Cable with his mom and dad, Cyclops and Jean Grey. Cyclops has the optic blast from Slide Effects and Jean Grey has the psychic effects, link in the description below. For new collectors, it will be difficult for you to get this particular gun because the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure cable is one of the expensive Marvel Legends in the secondary market. I assume widely available in retail prices or discounted prices is the X-Men 60th Anniversary 3-pack with Forge. His gun is longer compared to the one that Cable came with, but it is not bulky or larger in terms of size. It is high-tech looking though, something that you would expect Cable to carry as a gun from the future. If only this gun was made larger, same design, but larger, bigger, bulkier, it could have been the perfect gun for this Cable. Similar to the gun that comes out when he does his special move for the Marvel vs. Capcom video game. A little bit older, we have Deadlock from either the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure or the X-Force version of him. He comes with a large machine gun. This gun would be perfect for Cable. This is the right look for Cable. Cable carrying a big gun. Not totally 100% comic book accurate, but it closely resembles the size, the length, and the amount of firepower the guns that he carried in the comic books and in the Capcom vs. Marvel video game. I am not sure whether Deadlock is widely available on the secondary market or what is the current price, but I don't think it would be as expensive as the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure cable. To add color to a black gun, here we have the Slide Effects flash effects, link in the description below. In the Capcom vs Marvel video game, Cable's cybernetic arms would have some kind of lightning flowing through it. Here I used the Outback Storm lightning. Another special move in the game Cable has is a spear with lightning. From the 50th anniversary 2-pack of Wolverine and Lilandra, here is Lilandra's scepter combined with Storm's lightning effects. In the comments below, let me know if you think this weapon is necessary for Cable. The Cable action figure is 17.5 centimeters or 6.8 inch tall. According to the Jim Lee X-Men Info trading cards, in real life, Cable would be 6 feet 8 inches tall. Even if Marvel Legends are 6-inch scale figures, the action figure height is close to the 1/12 scale converted height. 6-inch scale Marvel Legends size comparison with Scarlet Spider and the Target exclusive Retro Carnage. We have from the Deadpool Legacy Collection, Wolverine and Deadpool, a comic book version of Deadpool from the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure wave, and we have X-Men 97 Wolverine. From the 50th anniversary of Wolverine, we have Logan vs Sabretooth. Cable is supposed to be taller at 6 feet 8 inches versus Sabretooth, who is just supposed to be 6 feet 6 inch tall. Sharing the same Hasbro guns, we have Kid Omega in his Krakoan X-Force uniform, and we have Crossbones, Cable's evil clothed Stripe, and his romantic or not partner, Domino. X-Men 97 brother and sister, we have Rogue and Nightcrawler. Cable's X-Men 97 mother, Maddie Pryor, the Goblin Queen, and we have Beast. X-Men 97 Cyclops and Jean Grey. Comic versions from the Love Triangle 3-pack, Cyclops and Jean Grey. Mafex Medicom toy 1/12 scale, Cyclops and Jean Grey. Loose collector ladies, we have Darna, a Filipino superhero, and Crusade Comics She. The big bad of X-Men 97, we have Mr. Sinister and Bastion. 6-inch scale versus 7-inch scale, we have the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Apocalypse versus the Marvel Select Apocalypse. Next we have the Build-A-Figure Juggernaut Marvel Legends and the Marvel Select Juggernaut. X-Force 90s roster from left to right, Shatterstar, Cyrene, Warpath, Domino, Sunspot, Cannonball, Boom Boom, and Rictor, all Marvel Legends. X-Men 97 Gold Team from left to right, Jean Grey from the House of X Wave, Beast with a custom head from 112 Customs. We have Storm, Forge, and Morph. To check whether he fits in your X-Men 97 collection, we have from left to right Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Goblin Queen, Rogue, Magneto, and Executioner. His X-Men 97 costume is similar to this action figure, except for the strap that runs in the middle, there is a different design, and the sleeveless right arm. Cable comes in the standard Marvel Legends packaging, wherein there is a window and you can see the figure and the accessories. At the bottom, the figure's name is Marvel's Cable. At the side is art taken from Cable number 16, Phalanx Covenant. On the other side is the same art. On top, we have Marvel instead of the usual X symbol. At the back, we have the same art from the sides. A short read up right here. Pause it right now if you want to have a read. We have the figures for the wave in order to build Zabu. At the bottom, we have some warnings and legalities. The recommended retail price of the figure is $24.99 USD. For Australia, the recommended retail price is 45 AUD. In our shop, we sold this figure for 40 AUD. The yellow background is a generic Marvel Legends design, not specific to X-Men. It's the same background on the name of the figure there. The deluxe Marvel Legends Angel has the same exact background. Comic panels with Spider-Man, Venom, and other Marvel characters. For articulation, his head can move from side to side. He can look up with that hinge on his neck, and he can look down that far as well. His arms can extend that far. He can do a full 360 right here. He has a bicep swivel right here. He has double jointed pinless elbows for his cybernetic arm. The other arm has pins. He has a wrist swivel, and for this particular hand, he can hinge his hand forward and backwards. He can crunch forward that much without any hindrance from the strap. He can crunch backwards as well that far. He has a waist swivel right here hidden underneath his belt. He can do a split. He has a upper thigh swivel hidden on those straps. He has double jointed pinless knees with his knee pad attached. He can kick that far. He has a lower cap swivel. His feet can hinge forward and back, and he has an ankle rocker. My final thoughts. Overall, a good cable action figure which is surprisingly accurate to the Marvel vs. Capcom game. However, his weapons are not video game accurate. It would have been great if Hasbro included a large gun instead of the silver plastic version of Kid Omega's sidekick gun. The old cable from the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure has more sculpt, has more accessories, and has bigger guns. I guess Hasbro believes in what Cyclops was preaching to his son Cable, that he should not rely on bigger guns but on his mutant telekinetic powers. Not necessarily a must add to your collection if you have the cable from the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure. But in terms of investment, this particular character design is very popular. One of the best-selling action figures on our shop where customers are buying multiples. This version of Cable can fit in with your Jada Street Fighter for a Marvel vs. Capcom collection, and he also fits in with your X-Men 97 collection. If you have a question that requires a visual answer like a photo or a video, feel free to leave a comment down below. If I have an answer, I will make a community post or a YouTube short. Thank you and looking forward to hearing from you guys. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing, ringing the notification bell, and checking out other reviews I have on the channel. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and find it useful. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell.